In this video, I'm going to be discussing a few different ways to encourage your team to use your CRM system. Now, it's all well and good having a CRM system, going through the time and effort to create and design the system to your business needs, but it's not going to be much use if no one is using the system. So in this video, I'm going to discuss a few different strategies that you could employ into your business to help your team get on board with the system and start utilizing all of the features. Welcome to CRM crew, or not anymore actually. Welcome to Nick Boardman's channel. Thank you ever so much for giving this video a watch. Hopefully it's going to be of value to you. You'll learn something, maybe take it away and apply it to your business. So the first means of encouraging your team to use a CRM system that I'm going to suggest is demonstrate the CRM benefits. Now, what you really want to be doing is obviously selling it to them. You want to explain to them why it is going to help them day in, day out. What is it going to allow them to accomplish that they otherwise are unable to without it? So obviously, if you've gone from an old CRM system or you've gone from Excel spreadsheets, the difference is going to be massive. They're not even going to realize the full capacity of the new CRM system. So what you want to do is actually explain it to them. Take the time to say, look, this is going to make your life easier this way. That by using this feature, you can do this. This is how you're going to improve your sales. And all of a sudden, they're going to, oh, okay, this is very interesting. Well, maybe we do actually want to start using the system and exploring it in more detail. You just need to give them a reason to want to use it, because otherwise they won't. People like to continue in the way that they work. They don't like change, which is completely understandable. It means they've got to go through the effort of learning things. But if you give them a reason to want to learn, if you show them the benefit, then they will take the time to do so. So it's just a means of encouraging them by just selling them on the idea that it's going to help them. But it will help them. So you're not wrong in what you're doing. Just encourage the team to use it by demonstrating the CRM benefits. Now, the second point I'd like to make on how you can encourage your team to use the CRM system is actually just offer continued training. It's all well and good rushing your team through a 2-day course that most CRM implementation companies cover. They do 2 days, or they do a few Zoom calls. That is, helpful in a sense initially. Are they going to learn a lot in those calls? I doubt it. I'd be surprised. Very rarely does it happen where I get on a Zoom call to someone or a team, and then after the call, they're all complete experts. There's limited amount of time. There's only so much you can learn. There's only so much I can explain. So I recommend having a continued training package, or just continued training. So once they do start to use the system, they have always got someone to go to have a conversation, to ask questions that they do not have the answer to. If they discover features and that they don't know how to use, and they've got no one to ask, they're just going to not use it. They're just going to stop using the system. They're not going to see the benefits of the system as much. So have a continued training, whether it be they regularly meet on a certain time on a certain day just to go over things, or there's just always someone on hand to provide training, whether that just be an email away or a Zoom call away. Having that continued training just to ensure that they can continue to explore the system and learn everything on the system and then get the benefits from the system is really, really important. So do not neglect that. It will make a big difference when it comes to getting people onto your CRM system and actually using it, because they will feel comfortable, they will feel confident, they will know that they will be able to use all of the different features because someone is there to explain it to them. Now, the third option, or the third way to encourage your team, is actually incentivize them or enforce them. It's kind of two ways you can look at it. I prefer the incentivize. It sounds a lot better. Just incentivize people. Give people a reason to use it other than the CRM benefits. So maybe you could say, for example, look, if you guys start using the system properly by the end of this, then we'll do a night out or a holiday, or it could be literally anything. But incentivize them, maybe half day on a Friday if they're using the system. Because ultimately, the reward for the business, for your team using the system, is definitely worth giving them an incentive. The ROI you will see if a team is fully utilising all of the benefits inside of a CRM system is going to strongly outweigh giving them a pay rise, giving the team a pay rise, or giving them a day off or an extra holiday, whatever it might be. So incentivize them. Now, those are only my few suggestions that have come to my head, and they're probably not the best, but I'm sure you guys can think of something that would be really, really applicable for your team to help them, or just push them to go and actually take the time to learn the system. So giving them a good reason why it would be of benefit. The other option, like I said, is enforce them. I mean, you can push people into it, but you don't want to push too hard, because then you'll meet resistance. People will transition over time when they see the benefits, as long as they've got training as well. And if you incentivize it, they're even more likely to do so. They'll be even more keen to get into the system. I mean, imagine if someone said, oh, well, you can have a half day on Friday as long as you're using the system by the end of next week. Well, I'm fairly sure that they're going to put in a lot more effort to learn the system if they know that that is a reward. So just think about that, incentivizing your team to do so. Now, the fourth strategy or means of encouraging your team to use your CRM system is actually getting a super user. So this is someone within the team who, it doesn't matter who it is, usually it's someone a little bit more tech savvy, who's quite good with technology, but they kind of lead the way in terms of showing everyone else the CRM system. They kind of get onto it first. They start utilizing all the benefits, hence the super user. And then everyone else is kind of looking over their shoulder going, oh, that's pretty cool. It's amazing that does that. Maybe we should start using the system. So having a super user in place, someone that's confident, someone that knows what they're doing, is going to be very, very useful. It will help definitely when other members of the team are seeing someone using the system and all of its features, like I just said. They'll be far more inclined. And it also, the other thing that having a super user does is it gives the team an opportunity to ask a question. So the super user is likely to know how to use most of the things inside of the system. They probably picked it up a bit quicker. So then the team have got someone to just quickly ask a question, and they'll get a response on how to do something. It might be really, really basic, but it's just having someone there who's known as the super user guy, who is the CRM guy, is going to help. It makes it easy to get questions answered. Obviously, on top of the continued training, you're covering both angles, the more advanced questions and the really simple ones as well. Then finally, now this is a bit of an interesting one, probably obvious, might not be obvious, but anyway, build the CRM system for your team. Obviously, they're going to be using it. You need to design the system, and this kind of does come back to like pre-introducing the team to the CRM system, and this comes back to the design element as well. But if you've got a CRM system that doesn't actually help your team, they're not going to use it, and that's just as simple as that. So if you build the system for your team, help them achieve what they need to achieve, that be sales, marketing, support management, all your different business processes, then they are far more likely to use it because it is built for them. It's going to help them. They can see how it works because they know their business processes already. And then that is going to make a massive difference. But that kind of goes back to the very start about before you even kind of are at the training stage, you're considering the team for the implementation point as well. But build the CRM system for your team. Make sure it's going to help them out. It's going to track all the data that they need, and it's going to be able to do what they need to be able to do. And that is a surefire way to make sure they are going to want to use the system. So just to recap, we've got demonstrate the CRM benefits, kind of pitch it to them, sell the CRM dream to them. Secondly, continue training, so offer continued support to all of your team just to make sure if any questions crop up, you have the answer or someone is available to answer. Incentivize / enforce, kind of let's forget about the enforce side, but incentivize, give them a genuine reason to jump onto the system. Half days, day off, it could be anything. I don't know, staff party, whatever. Just give them a reason to use it. It's a big project at the end of the day. It's cost the business a lot of money, so it's worth just splashing that extra bit of cash to get everyone on board. Super user, have someone internal that is really, really good at it and can answer questions and show off to everyone else about how amazing it is. And then finally, build the system for your team. So obviously consider their business processes, their business needs, and design it accordingly. I'm hoping this video has been of value, and I will hopefully see you shortly in the next video. Thank you ever so much for watching, and goodbye.